Right, today's the day we finally recode those goddamn Tesla coils. Those damn Tesla coils that function like shit, because you see here, right? The way they work is that they can only go one at a time, and it's really, really problematic with how I want to do other things, and because of how hazards work, like how they determine where the player bounces based on their position relative to the player, right? That means I have to offset the position of the trigger at the moment to a certain spot, as opposed to just have it the trigger at a certain spot and the hazard hitbox at a different spot. Which in retrospect is really fucking stupid, and that's why I'm fixing it. Yeah. So the plan is, right, let me draw this out. Here's the game plan. We're gonna have a Tesla coil like script class, right? And this will have pretty much everything. So it'll be able to say, will it start active? Actually, that's not abbreviate that. Start active. And we should have a boolean that determines if it's the trigger, which means that if this one is the trigger, then it will basically have a hitbox and it'll be responsible for activating the other ones. And then from here, right, is the plan. We have a next like array of other Tesla coils, and then it'll be able to handle more Tesla coils, and then it'll keep going and going and going in a chain is the plan. And then when it reaches one that says, how would I do this? Let me think. Because I need them to go and hang on, that's the wrong colour. Yeah, I need to go and branch off, and then eventually determine which one's the last one without like compromising the functionality. I gotta make sure this shit works. Anyway, yeah. So this, let me think how we could do that. I assume that what we could do is maybe have them called last, but then no, because the way test calls need to work is only if the last one's activated. So what I could do actually is I know what I could do actually, yeah. So whenever we have a signal, so whenever a Tesla coil is ready to go, like the little ding's done, which there's going to be a video referencing it on top of this right now as we speak. Basically, that whenever Tesla coils back to it goes like ding. Whenever that's triggered, it'll emit a signal, and then we have in each Tesla coil we have the last, which is this one here, right? So when the last one emits the signal, all of them are going to activate. That's all of them are going to abide their properties. So if they start active, they're going to turn off. If they're not start active, then they're going to turn on. All clear? Yes, we are. That's the plan. Let's do it. So to do this, right, we need to have basically a whole new thing. So if I add a new node, let's see where we're at. We're doing this in 1.2 instead of Tesla just because it's easier, I guess. I don't freaking know. Call this Tesla chain. We'll worry about making an icon for it after this. It doesn't really matter. We need to call this Tesla. I'll just call this 0. Have a new script. Call it Tesla chain. I know how fucking unorganized this is. It doesn't really matter. I can sort it out later. The RNR Tesla chain extends no TD. We'll make it its own class because it's going to be its own thing. Hold on. How have I done the other ones? That. Okay, my bad. Look, I ain't coded this in a week. I've been so gosh dang busy with college and stuff. It's been crazy. They come together. I don't know. Anyway, right, so what do we need? So we need a export bool, or if we do export category properties, maybe? No, because we're not going to have any other exports, are we? Export bar is trigger, it's a boolean, default to false. If true, this Tesla chain will act as the starting as the start of the chain. Then we need false if true. This chain will start activated, then deactivate when the coil is finished. Yeah. That's about next chain, next chains, array of the class name for next Tesla chain points, so they can branch. Then we need a true. Oh, what we could do is, yeah, no, we need to determine which one's the last one. We need a signal there, but so the signals go at the top. That's how I think. Signal, call this chain works complete. We'll call that. And the reason we're doing this in 1.2 just so I can get the Tesla coil script easier and reference how it spawns the like ding effect, just so I can apply this here. How long have we been going on for? Already 6 minutes and I've not done a lot. That's the game done for you. Anyway, right, so next chain, and then we also need next chain. Yeah, okay, I'm stupid. Export. Well, last chain is a DRNR Tesla chain. Acts as the final chain when the effect is completed. On this one, activate us all. Yes, okay. So now we need to do thing is with the triggers as well is that we need to have a way of like creating the hitbox, because we could just put it in there actually instead. Yeah, we can make exports. So if we do, yeah, okay. So let's do this: export category base properties. I know this must be really blooming mind-numbing to watch. But I'm doing this just because it's, I don't know, it's nice to have in the background. Usually I like watching people code stuff or have it to listen to, and this is, I can also spit about updates and development so far. Trigger properties. So far development's been pretty good, all things considered. We've mainly done the layouts of pretty much all the World 1 levels. 1.1's fully done, 1.2's fully done, as you can see, except from recoding these. 1.3's fully done, 1.4 has kind of started, and 1.5 is going to be very easy to make, outside like maybe the ending cutscene. That's about it. The tracks for every level is done. I need to refine the 1.5 song a little. Refine, yeah. So if we do export, trigger shape is a collision shape 2D shape for trigger. If not present, then issue. Yeah, okay. No, I'm done. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is done. I don't even need to do the is trigger, I could just do if none provided, yeah. If not provided, then assume that. There we go. Now we do need a bar triggered. Do we? Do we need this? Because we could just emit a signal, maybe. No, because then that'd be really bad. So if we just do this for now, becomes true when it's right. So if we go to func, ready, void. So this here just means that we have to provide the shape. Or the area actually. Trigger area. Area for trigger. Area 2D. So if we do trigger area, area entered, connect function. I want to make this as dynamic as possible because dynamic is good. I had Scott Wozniak in the background. Scott DeWaz, yes. I'm yapping a hecton, my bad. I'll tell you what, we'll keep it as player for now. So Dia and or if we go to body entered, my bad. Body entered. Dia and player player. Dia and player. To be fair, only the player should interact with these. And just yeah, okay. We'll keep it as done in the player for now. So we need to make a new function quickly. Call this start next chains, which is a void because it doesn't return anything. Now, I know my code isn't the cleanest. The player script is like 700 lines long, and I'm gonna overhaul that too at some point, probably before I drop the demo. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So, effects. Now, each coil should be able to have their own like effect defined. So here we are. If we copy these quickly, go to the new Tesla chain script. Now the unreadies come after the exports. I don't know what I'm doing here. Regular variables come after exports too. Unreadies come very last because they're preloads. And we should define all the key stuff first. Charged effects, we should probably fix this. Big charge should not be first. We could do as an enumerable, to be fair. We could do an enum. And then just have one between big and small, but then that makes it a bit less dynamic, doesn't it? Yeah, I'll tell you what, if we have a different one, call this spawn effect for the Tesla coil chain. For this specific coil chain. Spawn effects. It is a packed scene is, and we can make the default the small charge. Yep. So what we do is here we do triggered is true, and then we do start next chain. Well, triggered true, don't we? So in start next chains, what we do is for chain in next chains. Chain dot triggered is true, and then that'll repeat this whole function each, and then this is just activate next chains. We need to wait for the next signal, don't we? So after we've done all this, we need to call await last chain dot chain effects complete. Wait for last effect to be triggered. We need to account for it not being present. If last chain is equal to null, return. Or what we should do is just activate it as intended. Which we'll do a separate function for, so we can do that easier. Oh wait, no, we can just do it here. So we do kind of need to assign the own stuff. So we could do a preset scene with all the coil stuff present, just to make it a bit easier. Or we could generate it, maybe. No, base properties. Then we should do coil properties. Tesla properties. Physical properties. Sprite. I did the last one was a line 2D, didn't I? Sprite for chain sprite. I was doing line 2Ds last time, I think. Line 2D. Landing line, yeah, I did line 2Ds for the last one, which might have not been the best idea. I'm pretty sure I did generate them automatically. How did I do them again? Huh. Oh my god, this old one was really bad. This one was really freaking bad. Yeah, I think over fixing this, it should function a lot better after I've done this. Something interesting I will say quickly is just to give more clarity on how they work, is that the Tesla coils themselves, like the physical bits here, aren't like actually part of the Tesla coil, they're part of the tile map. Same with like the trigger indicators, they're part of the tile map. But I'm probably going to change the trigger indicators to actually be part of the Tesla coil, just so it's a lot more dynamic and easy for me to make. But I can probably figure that out in the future a bit. And if I plan to have a level editor there, then we can make this as easy to use as possible. Anyway, change sprite. I had a line 2D last time, I can do a line 2D again, can I? But is that the best approach? I don't want to use a convex shape for the hazards, that's another thing. I want to keep it as simple as I can. Well, to be fair, we could, so if I do line... Yeah, change sprite, ramp in, do it as a line 2D. Or chain line. Line 2D, and then we do shape this specific Tesla coil chains. Hazard. Chain shape is a shape to collision shape to the moron. Needs to be assigned like that, and then what we do is that, and then make sure that we do have a DRNR hazard for the actual bit inside the chain. Anyway, so now the only issue is it's not as easy to automate this way. We could have a generate script like we have with enemy paths maybe at some point. Can make it a tool, but they'll come back optimizing. For now, I just want to get it done because it's been at the back of my mind for God knows how long. We don't actually use player here, so we could just do underscore player for now until we do use the player. I don't think we will. Right. Anyway. Chain line visible is equal to the opposite of start active. Yeah. Right? Yeah, because if start active is true, then it'll be false. If it's false, then true. Yeah, okay. So then we do chain shape disabled is equal to start not. And start active would be true. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So, okay, yeah. So we wait for this and then we'll spawn that. And then we need to create the effect. And when the effect is done, we need to do that. So, how do we know when the current effect is done? We just have a linear wait time, don't we? I think on the old one. Hold on. That was annoying. Anyway, it's just someone else at the door. It's funny how I'm only motivated to recode these after I've had a drink. Or a few glasses of wine that were very nice. Some Blue Raspberry Echo Falls. I think it's the new one. I've got the picture on the screen of it right now as we speak. That's totally. Right, so how the fuck does this work? So we create it. Oh! Okay, yeah, I get it. Okay. So, it's a spot effect. How did I forget how my own fucking code works? I'm like Yandere Dev dog. Okay, well, I'm like Yandere Dev, but I'm not gross. In the sense I fucking procrastinate. There we go. Right, so. Chain effects complete will only emit when do that. If we do. NCFX. Instantiate. CFX. Get free currency. A child NCFX. Is this the best practice? No, it's fine. Oh wait, finished, then we do chain effects complete is true. So that'll flag that, and then we just gotta wait for the last one. Max! My dog's in here. Max! You're sniffing my hoodie on the floor. Whatever. Can't assign new values. It's not a constant, is it? Yes. Oh. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. There we go. Forgot it was a signal. Confused then. Do that. And then we should have a lifetime for the last one. They have to be active for 3 seconds, all of them. Yeah, so if I go to export category, last, these default's 3 seconds. How long the entire chain? Oh. Yeah, and that's all I really need to do for the last properties. And then we have to have a counter, don't we? So if we do var at counter, well, it's 0. Type sheet. Right, so then we need to do a regular update, because I don't think it really matters. Wait, no, process moron. Delta times equals n global tick speed. Yeah? Right. Right, so now we gotta do the counter stuff. So active. So if not triggered, entire active, we'll call this. We don't need to do this otherwise. Entire activated. If AT counter is less than active time, AT counter is delta, or add on delta. Otherwise, AT counter is 0. We need to now deactivate everything. So if we do signal deactivate from last, we call deactivate from last emit, and then what we do is when we see deactivate from last, oh wait, no, we just do last effects, last chain, deactivate from last, connect function, then we do trigger is false, entire activate is false, and then we need to do a we could just copy these two, couldn't we? And then we need to have a sound playing at each one, don't we, really? So, yeah, we'll have a sound, won't we? So if I do sound effect. Now, is this a lot of audio stream players? Maybe, doesn't matter. No, I don't care. I can probably fix it later if it becomes a problem. So we do chain sound.play is equal to start, not start active. Deactivate fully. There we go. So this now needs to become start active. Opposite. Done. Boom, boom, boom. So create new spawn effect with the last existing. If last chain doesn't equal null, then we do that, otherwise we just skip. Otherwise, go straight ahead. This will be running on every single one, should really only run it on the last one. Oh, we could run it on the first one, shouldn't we? Yeah. No, we need to run it on the last one, don't we, so... There we go. This should be good now, kind of. We just need to create the property for each bit of the Tesla coil. Yeah, so now we have a lot more of a dynamic system here. Way better than whatever the fuck was going on here. Point delay. Oh, point delay is a good one, to be fair. When is start next chain called? It's called as soon as it's interacted with, right? It should be called when the effect is finished. Should change the speed of the effect as well, shouldn't we? Depending on the delay. Could we? Point delay was a good system, but it applied to every single point. We could do a point delay, but that's effort. I liked it better when it was just a chain, but point delay might be a bit of a thing, to be fair, so... Yeah, I'll tell you what. We'll call start next chain so when we have a better delay set in place. So what we'll do is keep delta at the top here because we're going to be using it quite a bit. So have that there. Not last properties, not treating property, base property. Here we are. So delay before chains are activated. Chain delay low is equal to 0.125 by default, I think. What's it on the first one? It should be 0.125, yeah. 0.125. So here we are. CD counter. We need to spawn the base effect anyway. Yeah, so creating the effect there, that's on start next chain, isn't it? Chain triggered is true. And then really on triggered, what it should do is start the next one. I'll figure this out in a sec, hang on. CD counter plus equals dollar, otherwise CD counter is 0? Yeah. Wait. Yeah, okay, so if not triggered, then do this. Then we could do triggered as true. Wait, no, because triggered works like that, doesn't it? Sugar. You want this one's a doozy. It's probably really obvious to everyone else seeing this one because they're like, just do this, you fucking moron. Ugh. But I'm like a baby coder. Even though I've been doing it for years, I'm a baby coder. I mean, all this is done myself, and I don't think it's too bad. But anyway, off track again. We need to lock in. So we should only do this when it's actually done that. So triggered should do what exactly? Hold on. Triggered. Triggered is responsible for creating it, the effect, isn't it? Yeah, so use our brain. Use our freaking brain. Here we go. We don't want to wait for chain effects complete. Wait, no, yes we do. If it's the last one, yeah. The last one is the only one where it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah. So what we need to do here is we need to take this, because the spawn fit needs to happen as soon as we touch it. So if we do a set function val val is true, have that at the end. If val is true, then what we do is create a new effect. Yeah, so now if we do if triggered, we start counting. Keep that there, we don't get rid of that. Then we do start next chains. Jeez. Okay, and then when we've all done triggered is false. Triggered is false, CD count needs to equal 0. Right, this should be okay now. Default uses the small one, I think. Is this using the small one? Yeah, otherwise we can apply a different one. We could have a thing that creates a default kind of preset for it. Or could create preset quickly. Line 2D, call this. What do we got? We got chain line, chain shape, chain sound. Where's the thing? Oh, wait, what? Where? Hello? Do I have to reload the scene? No, where? Just making a point, right? No, I don't, I'm just dumb. Hold on. What's going on? It was definitely texture. I mean, if I just quickly playtest, right? Oh, use your brain, Lucy, you fucking idiot. It is in fact not there. Something is wrong with line 2D. Am I stupid? I must be stupid. Oh, oh my flipping god. Oh my god. There we go. Right, okay, there we go. So now if I just quickly playtest again, the line should look okay. There it is, and it looks okay. Sweet. Right, so then we need to just make a hazard. Call this chain hazard. Now is this a lot more hazards than I would like? Yes, but it doesn't matter. That's damaged one, death effect we don't need. It's not grab box, not dying impact. We need to get the force from the other one. Force. Where is it? Hitbox. Ah, yeah, it worked as R1, didn't it? I see how it worked, okay. Anyway, right, so we need to go back to here. Hitbox, the force is 420, 420. Nice. We should probably have a way to automate this. Dying impact, no. Infinite lifetime. No attacker, don't ignore iframes. No stagger because it's not a grab box. Collision. Mask only for the player. Wait, no. Needs to be on the hazard layer, doesn't it? There's no. Dum. Right, yeah. So that. Need to add a shape to that quickly. Call this change shape. Of which call it shape. Make sure it's bright red just so it's distinguishable. Is this 64? I think this is 64. Yes, it is. Sweet. So this will be that. Then we have this as 1. If we do the properties from this one real quick, so the need a sound for it as well. So if I go to the scene for this quickly, copy you. That's good. They can change any time, can't they? So that's the line. Create new effect. Yes, I've made the second one, this one here. Now the answer is this isn't going to be like tile sensitive rail, but that's not a big deal. This can be our second one. Don't want to branch off from Tesla chain, to be honest. I don't have to fuck around with the hitbox bullshit now, do I? Because before I'd have to do parodies to explain that, actually, ignore me then. I did box to okay to rotate, I think. Looks fine to me. Oh my god, this is probably a lot better. Performance-wise, I don't know, but in terms of this, it feels a lot better to make. So just drag the boxes. And then this one could be the last chain, couldn't it, I suppose? Chain is 1. Now this last chain can be 3. Excluding the last chain. What we need to do here is we need to create the trigger for it. So if we now have a area 2D, call this trigger area, add a shape 2D to that, we go shape, make it a circle, make it 56, let's say, wait no, too big, 64 let's say. Those ones are 128 I think, yeah 128, make the same colour. I want to be closer to the actual Tesla coat colour, so let's make it more pink, so like that, yeah. Only check for the player, that's fine. And we can offset this to however we fucking like, which is amazing. Let's say our chain is here then. Right. So on 0, trigger area should be here. So now if we test, something is wrong. Is it is? It might be that. It might be that. Now nothing works. Great. Also at the start we need to have this. But not really. Right, what's happened here then? I assume it's constantly activating. Less than 0 on delta, otherwise start next chains. With debugging. Debugging, yay! That's why it's calling it continuously. It should not be doing that. Ah. Ah. Right. Right, yeah, I'm a actual thicky dum-dum. Will it work now? Let's see. I don't know. So now if I go to the last one, could we change this to last effect? Just so scenes, I think is on MISC, VFX, coil charged, yeah. this one. It's like the last one isn't turning off, which we can fix quickly. 80 count there. Oh. The self needs to be the active tune as well, doesn't it? But then that won't run that, will it? So I'll tell you what we will do. If we copy this, call this deactivate, then we can repeat it in the other places we need it, can't we? Deactivate, void. We just call deactivate here, and then at the start we can call deactivate 2, can't we? Boom, boom, boom. Now if we test. Please, please. Oh my god, I need to fix that as well. Why are they not doing it? Maybe if last change not null return, if not entire active return. Right, I can't fucking spell. Let's fix that, right? We never set entire active to try, I don't think. We never set entire active to try. Oh my flipping god. I'm actually a moron. Right, so we can fix the active volume on this quickly to make it like that's fine then, isn't it? I'll find a way to automate all this later, but for now it's suitable, I think. Yeah! Because it summons it twice and that's not very good. Which I can fix easily if I that deactivate instantly, that's not right. CD count is that. Did I say AT count to 0? No. Dumb. Right, there we go. There. We need to do one more thing. Why is it still really loud? Probably because I'm just really close to it. That'll be why if I just change the range to something really comically small on them, then it will be way better, won't it? If I change like 16 and then the fall off will be a lot better. There we go. Right. And then we need to add here if entire active return. Don't trigger if I'm on. Wait, no, if triggered. Wait, but then trigger gets set to false, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a problem. So if entire active, then return, but we also can't trigger it multiple times. This is really bad. Touch trigger, we'll call it, fuck it. This is fine. This is fine. Touch trigger, return. Triggered, true. Touch trigger, true. And then when we're done, touch trigger, true. Trigger, true. And then when we finish, we touch trigger, false. Boom, 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 done. Sweet. I need to fix this. Wait, no, I think that's actually how it works. There you go. Should activate. Right, so we're gonna another optimization I want to make, right? We need to constantly keep track of the player. That way, if they're just standing in the area and it reactivates, then we don't have to worry about. Jesus Christ, been going on for nearly an hour. I'll trim this down when I've done editing. Which won't take too long. So if we have a new target variable, we call this var target. There's no player, target's player. Alright, back to it. So this should work, but it's not because I'm dumb. Should be if target's not null. So you do that. So what gives? Why is it not working? No, now everything works. If that's not activated, it's why I do it. What? Has it not done the next tunes? No, the next tunes do in fact exist. Target's not null. Touch trigger return. Ah, wait, no, this shouldn't be breaking the whole thing. It is breaking the whole thing, I'm an idiot. Target's not null and not touch trigger. There we go. This should be fine then. Now, right? Yeah. Always something, there's always something. If target's not null, I'm saying. Hold on, triggered set. If val's true, then triggered is equal to value. Yeah. So what is it doing? What is it doing this? When the trigger's right. Target's not null. Touch trigger's true, trigger true. Target set to not. Body egg, oh my god. Moron. Actual moron. Classic stupid dumb behaviour. Right. Now. Tesla coil should work perfectly. Stick around, activate. Leave. Go back. Yes! Yes! Yes, 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 yes! 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 I've never been so happy today. They work. Now it's just replacing all the old ones with these ones, but that should be fine. Any issues I find, I will just amend and won't include in this. Finally done. Fuck these Tesla coils. These damn Tesla coils are finally fucking done. Yes!